This happened a couple of nights ago, and I've got to write it down. Thinking it and saying it sounds too crazy. I've been a cop long enough to know the worst calls always start the same way. Can you check out a noise complaint? Sounds like a baby crying. That came over dispatch just after 2 a.m. I'm a parent, so of course I'm gonna go make sure everything's okay. Area was west, just past big old woods near a defunct substation Duke Energy fenced off years ago. I knew the area. Dense, overgrown. Not the kind of place you walk a stroller. It is where a lot of people camp if they don't have homes. So my brain made the call that some poor mum was out there with her baby. I was wrong. The caller didn't leave a name. They just said that the sound came from deep in the trees. Some drunk guy on his boat, probably out trying to catch some blue cats, heard spooky sounds in the woods. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I went alone. Protocol said I should wait for backup, but I didn't think much of it. Probably a fox. They make noises that'll raise the hairs on your neck. That, or someone dumped a cat in the brush. Or at worst, it's a damn bobcat. Reason I know this is I've had my run-ins with them in the lake inside of the quite a few times. They are mean as hell, but trick you by sounding like a baby. I parked on the shelter and walked about 15 minutes into the woods. No trails, just soft earth and low branches clawing at my vest. The deeper I went in, the colder it got. The kind of cold that doesn't belong in April. But it's there anyway, because the weather can't seem to make up its damn mind. Then I heard it. Soft, weak, definitely a baby. A newborn? That's what I thought. It sounded like my baby girl, like the day she came home from the hospital. I froze. It was coming from ahead, somewhere beyond the next ridge. But it wasn't right. The cry looped. Same pitch, same rhythm, almost mechanical, like it had been recorded. I unholstered my flashlight and moved slow. That's when I saw the eyes. Dozens of them, reflecting back in the dark. They stepped out together, silent, coordinated. A herd of white deer, albino. Every single one bright as bone. Antlers like coral. Eyes red. There had to be 20 of them, just standing in the trees, blocking my path. They didn't run, didn't twitch, just stared. Their bodies looked off, like they were stitched together wrong. Too tall, joints too low. One of them had legs that bent the wrong way entirely, and in the centre of them stood one without antlers, smaller, female maybe. She opened her mouth in a way I had never seen a deer open its mouth, and from her mouth came the baby's cry. I know I couldn't see my reaction, but I know that all the colour from my body left me at once. I felt hot. I should have run, but I didn't. What came next was odd, to say the least. It lost about an hour of consciousness. When I came to, I was standing among the deer in the trees. The crying had never stopped. I had a sharp pain in my jaw and could taste warm, thick blood running down the back of my throat. But there was also a smell. I started shaking and gagging, and I swear, it looked as if a few of them were smiling. I raised my light and they turned. All of them, at once, walked back into the woods in perfect silence, vanishing before the trees. And the crying stopped. Just like that. I stayed there another 30 seconds before my legs started working again. I also might have wet myself. I checked my watch. 3:30 a.m. About an hour after I parked and radioed in dispatch. I had no recollection of the last hour. And the oddest thing? I was missing a molar. Back at my cruiser, I tried to call it in. Static. My radio didn't work until I was 5 miles down the road. And brother, that was a long walk. Next morning, I came back with animal control. They found nothing. No prints, no fur, no signs of anything except a tooth in the brush. It was a human milk tooth, a baby tooth. Animal control guy said that it's probably where the sound came from, a baby in the woods with a homeless mum. He shrugged his shoulders and chucked it in the woods. I don't know why, but I went back in to retrieve it afterwards and took it home. Call me crazy. The whole department does now. They drug tested me after my report. But here's the thing. Since I've brought that tooth home, I've caught glimpses of white deer in my yard at night. When I'm driving out on patrol, they run out in front of me. I've heard babies crying from the woods behind my house. I hear babies crying when I'm hiking in the mountains, about 200 miles from my home. I hear them before I go to bed. My daughter is 14. I don't have a baby. She doesn't even live with me because I'm divorced. And the worst thing is, I don't know where that baby tooth is now. And the reason I'm writing this is because as I sit here in my home and watching my security cameras, there's a white deer in my yard. And now it's screaming and yelling and cursing. But it's not a baby's voice anymore. It's mine. I don't usually post, I read, quietly, mostly on night shift, when nothing's moving and my thoughts get too loud. After the calls of wellness checks, when the little old lady on the corner croaks, and you walk into her dog eating her face because the poor thing hasn't eaten since she last fed it. Or domestic abuse, where the piece of shit husband has bashed his wife's nose into her skull for overcooking his steak. Drive-by shootings of road, when a single mother reading her babies a book takes a stray round through the skull. On nights where a drunk driver hits a kid, a little girl the same age as yours, and you try all you can do to resuscitate them just to lose them in your arms, and all you can do is cry. Or when one of the people sworn to protect your community takes somebody's life just for trying to get the insurance papers out of their glove box. Or when some deranged piece of shit ends all 4 of your colleagues over a warrant. Or it's just when I pull somebody over for driving like a dumbass after one of the calls mentioned above. They ask for your name and badge number and tell you how you are just a public servant. It's hard, and I never wanted to be that person, uploading personal nightmares onto strangers on the internet. I like to read to keep the monsters quiet, but I can't sleep. It's been a couple of days since that fuck shit with the deer in my yard. What am I saying? It couldn't have been a deer. It was in my yard cursing, with my voice. And I can't keep this inside anymore. I haven't slept. I've torn my house apart looking for that damn tooth, and I know I brought it back. I remember holding it, but it's just gone. And I'm still wondering why the fuck I'm missing a tooth now. Or what I did in that hour I fell unconscious. I'm not saying I believe in curses, but I believe in patterns. I believe when too many people tell the same story, it stops being a coincidence. And guys, I'm not the only one. After I posted that story about the white deer things and the crying and hearing my own fucking voice, my inbox lit up. 10 different messages from 10 different accounts, all describing the same thing. Different places, different years, same white deer, same baby cries, same kind of tooth, same weird loss of time. And always the same ending. Something terrible happens. One guy flipped his car, broke his spine, was out on a hike, saw white deer, lost an hour, lost a tooth, found a baby tooth. Another guy's wife disappeared without a trace. She went walking into the woods, said she saw you guessed it, a white deer. He had seen them too, lost an hour, lost a tooth, and found a baby tooth. Some lady lost everything because she swore while she was out taking soil samples for a homeowner, she saw a white deer mimicking voices, lost an hour, lost a tooth, and she also found a baby tooth. One said his son vanished from a locked bedroom. No signs of a break-in. Just short, rough white hair on the pillow, bed sheets and drapes. He went hunting that morning. Guess what he fucking saw? Found and lost. Every one of them said the same thing. I wish I never found that tooth. So I was spiraling. I ripped up every junk drawer, tore through my gear, my closets, even the drain traps. Nothing. I went out to both cars, my daily and my cruiser. It was dark as shit outside, and I did the whole shit, where is it search you do in your car when you drop something. I popped open my glove boxes, fucking sunglasses holder and center armrest compartment in the cruiser. I moved the seats forward and backwards. I searched the trunk of my Impala. Just golf and gym bags. I searched the cracks of the seats. Nothing. I don't know what made me say it. maybe frustration or habit. But when I gave up looking, I muttered, "Damn it, where the fuck are you?" And from out in the distance, in the woods that surrounded my home, clear as day, I heard my voice answer. Only it wasn't me. Not really. Same words, same tone, just wrong. Off. Like something was mimicking me, but didn't understand how. I grabbed my gun from my waistband. I'm not going anywhere without one ever again, and ran to the porch. And it was standing at the fucking tree line, an albino deer, on its hind legs, tall as a man, antlers like pale driftwood. Its mouth hung open, cocked off to the side, its eyes glassed over, its tongue draped off in its teeth like a creature from a Lovecraft novel. But it didn't speak, just waited, watching. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
It said it back, without moving its mouth, just gargling like a person who had a stroke, choking on words. Twisted, crooked, like a recording run through broken tape. I backed inside, locked the door, ran to the bathroom and locked that too. I sat in the tub with the lights off. I cried. I've never cried that hard. After about an hour, I didn't hear anything and thought the coast was clear. And I wish I would have stayed where I was. But something told me to look out of the window above my shower. I did. I wish I didn't. Once again, I saw a group of albino deer things in my yard. This time, it was more obvious they weren't deer. They didn't have to hide it. Their mouths agape, and my voice was coming out of all of them. And just like that, I'd lost another hour. And when I came to, I was missing another fucking tooth. I was also trying to climb out of the window and crawl out to the deer, but I became aware before they realised. I started shaking from fear and I pushed myself back into my bathroom, slammed the window shut, locked it, and ran to the light switch in my bathroom and flipped it on. Went back to the window and the deer were gone. I'd wet myself again and I was bleeding profusely from my mouth, but I wasn't going to budge. I sat in the tub, lights on, until sunrise. All night I heard them outside the house. I heard my own voice, over and over, echoing around the property. I spoke again like an idiot. I said, "I'm going crazy." They answered, croaking at first, like a toddler learning its words.
I'm going crazy.
Then the baby started crying again, like a chorus, not loud, just there. I sat there in the tub until the voices became the ambient sounds of my home, replacing the hum of my fridge or the ice maker that's always frightened me at night. Never again. I took leave from work yesterday. Couldn't think straight. Spent most of the day on my couch, Glock on my lap, TV on but muted, just waiting. Then last night, I got another message. No name, just a throwaway account. All it said was, "Do you have a fireplace?" I wrote back, "Yeah, why?" They responded, "Do you have a gun?" I wrote back, "No, I'm a gunless cop in a major city. They only let me play with a fucking vacuum cleaner and my name's Doofy. Do you have a gun?" I wrote back, "Yes, of course I have a gun. You need to roll your bullets in fine ground white ash. Only thing that slows them down. You need to do it right now, and I need your address." I didn't question it. I just did it. I sent my address too. Why I sent a stranger my address, I don't know. But help is help. I emptied the fireplace, ground the ash fine, mortar and pestle, and rolled every round in it like flour. Then I loaded up my Glock, lit a cigarette, last one, crumpled the pack, threw it on the coffee table, and I decided I'd drive back to the woods, back where I first heard the baby crying. The trees were quiet this time. No sound, no animals, not even fucking bugs. There was a smell, like a rotting animal. Then I found it, but I can't tell you how I wish I didn't. A circle of flattened grass, like something had been lying there. It stunk. In the centre was 7 items, all laid out in a perfect circle. The baby tooth, my teeth, silver fillings and all. My mother's diamond ring, the one my wife left behind when she walked out. A family photo, my baby girl, my ex and myself at I swore was all still in a box in the attic, along with all the other shit she abandoned. An empty pack of Marlboros. My empty pack of Marlboros. The pack of Marlboros I just fucking left on my coffee table, and my daughter's old music box. I was shaking and sweating again, just like the night I ran into the deer. None of this made sense. The teeth. I hadn't seen that ring in years. The photo was private. The music box. My ex said she lost it in the move. I stared at it all for a long time. Then I made the worst mistake I've made yet. I took everything, even the baby tooth. I don't know what came over me. Some primal urge to protect it, or maybe to understand. I shoved it all in my pack and drove home. Heart racing. It felt like something was watching me the whole way. Now I'm here. I've locked every door, every window. I've unplugged my TV. I've covered my mirrors cause, nope, it doesn't matter. The cameras still work. Every light in my house is on. I'm just writing this just now, typing it out, thinking maybe someone will tell me what to do. When I saw the motion alert on my phone. Backyard camera. 12:44 a.m. I opened the app and dropped my phone. There's something standing in my yard again. 2 figures. One of them is my daughter. The other one is me. But I haven't moved from this chair. And she's supposed to be at her mum's. She's obviously very tired and she's looking at me in a very odd way. Well, the thing that's supposed to be me. But then I realised it's my weekend.